The message of today is trust God completely. In you, O Lord, I put my trust. Psalms 31 and 1. I remember when God told me to quit my full time job where I was making very good money. He began to deal with me saying, "You're going to have to put that down and stay home and prepare for ministry." I didn't obey quickly because I was afraid to leave my job. After all, how did I even know for sure that I was hearing from God? He continued dealing with me, so I finally tried to make a deal with him, saying, "I won't work full time, but I'll work part time." So I went to work part time because I was afraid to trust God. Dave and I was afraid to trust God completely. Dave and I didn't have as much income as we had before, but I found we could survive on less money than we had previously. We had to cut down on expenses, but we were able to pay our bills. I also had more time to prepare for ministry. This seemed like a good plan, but it was not God's plan. I learned that God doesn't want to make deals, and I ended up getting fired from my part time job. I was a good worker and had never been fired from a job before. Even though I didn't like my circumstances, I was finally where God wanted me to be all alone, totally dependent on Him. Without a job, I had to learn to trust God for every little thing I needed. For 6 years, we needed divine intervention each month just to pay our bills. But during that time, I learned a lot about God's faithfulness. He always provided. And what we learned through our experience enabled us to trust Him for the resources we now need to run an international ministry. I encourage you to obey completely and don't try to make deals with God because they never work. And God's word for you today is when we negotiate with God, we never win. May God add a blessing to the reading of the word.